you don't have a stool, go ahead and sit down on your platform. We're going to start right at the beginning, getting our energy moving. So I'm going to suggest today that if you are new to this platform or new to this series, just start where you're at, meaning start on a very low setting, okay? And when we're working in our therapeutic yoga practice, we really never have to go very intense in our intensity levels. So I'm going to put my machine on, my Lifepro Rumblex 4D. I'm going to put it on oscillation, and I'm going to go into a speed of about 3. So today we are talking about the second chakra, the Svastisana chakra, which is the solar plexus. What I'd love you for you to all do is just put your feet on your platform and bring your hands together. You're going to actually interlace your fingers. Interlace all the fingers, and your thumb and index finger are going to press together, and we're going to place our hands right 3 inches below the belly. And this is how we'll begin our practice today. And today, really, our practice is more educational. My goal today is to share with you all about this particular chakra, the second chakra of the system, of our energy system, the Svastisana chakra. So the word svati, S-V-A-D, means actually self. And Histasana also means origin. This chakra, the second chakra, the sacral chakra, is all about where we originate from, the center of creation. And our hand symbol, which is known as a mudra, is called Yoni, N-O-N-I. And this is just helping us to bring our energy and our awareness to this physical place. Now, if you didn't catch our earlier session, our whole body is made of energy. And here we are on a Lifepro vibration platform, moving energy around. And when energy is blocked, things get stuck. We're just not in alignment. This particular chakra is extremely important. Last Monday and Wednesday, I talked about the Muladhara, the root chakra, our seat, our place of surviving. But now today, I'm going to be talking about our center of creativity, senses, sexuality, feelings, passion, our pleasure center. That's the focus of this chakra. So you can continue with your hands here, the thumb and index finger. It's almost like a lotus petal if you look at it. And we're pressing it against right below our belly, below our navel, about 3 inches. Now, today, for the next 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30, depends how many poses I can get through. I want to share everything that I know about this chakra to help you to move energy better. As I mentioned, this is where our navel point is and our focus. And the physical focus in this chakra is mostly in the reproductive center. Are the womb, the ovaries for women, for men, it's testicles, it's the prostate, but also just the pelvic bowl, so our whole pelvic bowl. Now in here, and I'm going to move my hand so I can point to places, we're talking about kidneys, which are located at the bottom of the adrenal glands, on the back of the adrenal glands themselves, the bladder, the hips. So many of the exercises that we do to strengthen and stretch physically at a physical level also have a lot to do with what's going on in your energy. So we'll go ahead and take your hands away from your navel point, your sacral chakra, and put them on your knees and put your feet together. Now, this posture, bound angle, is for those of you that cannot stay or sit down on the platform yet, but we're all going to move our sacral chakra and kind of get it going on. So I'd like you to pull your belly back and then roll forward. If you're sitting on a platform, I highly recommend that you put a blanket on there first, just because it's nice to have that softness underneath your seat. And we're just going to roll our pelvis and take some deep breaths in and out. It's always really nice to center ourselves in our breath. And just feel what is moving and what isn't moving. Now, the element in this particular chakra, Svadhisthana chakra, is water. And we can feel when our belly moves, that we're moving those organs and just kind of, are you moving fluidly, physically? Are you stuck? Is your back really tight where you can flex and that, or just notice those physical feelings. And just do this a couple more times. With this shape we're making, this diamond shape, it's just opening up our energy of our kidneys and our bladder and our pelvic bowl. And we're breathing with this. And then let's go ahead and place your feet nice and wide. Again, this is another posture seated. I'm going to go in these postures standing, but for the sake of introduction of our postures and this chakra, I thought we'd start seated. You're going to now bring your knees wide, and I'm on a speed of 3. Actually, you can see my thighs moving around a little bit. Your hands could be open up. Palms are facing out. Now, I talked about the element of water, but the next element I'd like you to be aware of is color. And you can see I'm wearing some orange. That is the color of this chakra. And because all the chakras have to do with energy, color has energy. Gemstones have energy. Food has energy or not. If it's denatured, meaning if it's cooked, we lose the energy of it. Sound is energy. So touch, taste, all our senses, and this chakra has to do with all of that, sensuality. So our color is orange. So close your eyes if you are comfortable with that, and I'd like you just to visualize the color orange. Maybe it might be the color, the orange of the fruit orange. Might be the orange to visualize a pumpkin, more of the color that I'm wearing on my shirt, more of a pumpkin color. Or a root, carrots, a sweet potato, a yam. Just visualize any color that resonates for you, whether it's bright, it's dark, it's light. And just kind of get that color in your mind's eye as a glowing orb of light. And I'd like you to breathe into it, and breathe into that place 2 or 3 inches below the belly, into your sacral chakra. And then slowly open your eyes up. So visualizing color is a nice way to open up that chakra. Now, many of you will ask, why are we even talking about this and this energy? Now, how do you know if your chakra is in balance or not? Because these are all circles of energy. They start in the root, and they work their way all the way up, and they weave down and up our spine, like they intertwine, and these places intertwine, and that's where chakras resonate. So you know if you're in balance with this particular sacral chakra because there's fluidity. Emotionally, you feel pretty balanced. You're pretty flexible. I want to say you're almost easygoing. You know, like everything flows. Your life force, your prana, your chi flows, and the world's a pretty cool, level place. Now, that's the perfect world, at least in my book. Maybe yours too, but based on what happened over the past year in COVID, I believe, it's my feeling, my opinion, we all got a little out of balance in this chakra. Specifically, we felt stuck. We were stuck at home. We were stuck in lockdown, and many of us are still kind of in that mode because there was trauma. There was an emotional trauma happening, and when this particular chakra is out of balance, you start getting kind of shut down and numb. You may even feel kind of bottled up, almost depressed a little bit, or a little out of control. And I don't know about you, I tend to be a little bit of a control freak. So this chakra has been working overtime out of balance for me. You know, the need to have everything in place and control just so you feel safer, feel like everything's okay. Or you might be the person that went out of control. Like this whole lockdown and everything made you a little crazy. And you overindulge. Maybe you ate a little too much of not such of the good stuff. Maybe you drank a little too much. Maybe you binged a little too much on Netflix, and everything got a little out of control. And you were doing that to numb out and not feel. So let's get back to focus. The phrase or saying for this particular chakra is, I feel. So I'd like you to bring your hands together. We're going to take the left hand and underneath the right hand, and the thumbs are going to touch. This is the Dhyani mudra. And I'd like you to close your eyes. And again, just take a couple breaths, and maybe you want to visualize that orange orb of energy, that ball of energy in your sacral chakra. And let's tap into the words, I feel. Feel the physical feeling of energy vibrating from your feet, up your knees, into your thighs, into your pelvis. Feel the physical feeling of the thumbs touching, the hand resting one on top of the other. But now, take a deep breath in and out and feel the vibration of your breath. My machine just shut off, so I'm going to put it on again, and I'm going to add a speed of 5. So I'm oscillating on speed 5. And back to feeling. How does your physical body feel? How does the energy of the platform make you feel? How does the sound of my voice make you feel? Visualize the taste of biting into an orange. Maybe the taste of pumpkin pie. So those are different senses that we don't even have to literally bite into that orange or bite into that pie, but we have a sense of what it tastes like. And now, with your eyes closed, visualize or take a deep breath in and visualize the smell of a hibiscus flower. Or, if you're in Arizona like I am, the orange blossoms. Sense of smell is another way that we feel. We can open up feelings. Smell gives us memories. You might have that sense of when you bite into a papaya or a mango, that taste, that smell takes you to a tropical place that you would have visited. And these memories, these emotions that you have there, all are related to senses of taste and smell. I'm going to ask you to open your eyes up, and I'd like to talk a little bit about more about the sense of smell, and I'm going to share a couple essential oils that you may want to purchase down the road, or you might have. Wild orange is one of the elements, one of the plant energies. Now, plants all have energy, so wild orange essential oils are a one way to move energy around. And taking a whiff of this aroma, this wild orange, just really will open up senses. The smell may give you memories, like I mentioned, and it just evokes a feeling of uplifting, at least for me. Other essential oils like cinnamon, and I have that too, very spicy, kind of on the hot side. And sometimes spicy smells and tastes are really good to open up this area, because as I mentioned before, this is about a little bit of organs of in the intestines and in our pelvis, some organs of digestion and elimination. So cinnamon, ginger are smells and tastes that really help ignite our sacral chakra. And speaking of tastes, other things that are very helpful in terms of plant-based focus are things like fennel, chili peppers, root vegetables, as I mentioned, papaya, mango. You can make little tinctures out of some things, out of fennel seeds. You can make tinctures and teas out of hibiscus. So any kind of thing that appeals to your sense of taste and smell will definitely open up this chakra if it's really stuck. So yeah, boy, we really smell good to smell that. And ylang ylang is another aroma that's really good. Now, when it comes to gemstones, I have a piece of citrine. I'm going to bring that really close in so you can see this citrine. It's kind of a goldish orange. There are many gemstones that when we place, if we're in a meditative pose laying on our back, or even if I'm holding it here near my sacral chakra, the energy of stones and other stones, one that's really big is carmeline, amber. I've got some tiger's eye bracelets that I'm wearing right now. citrine sandstone, red jasper, red coral. So any red or orange stones are going to help you. And you can hold these in your hand. You can place them on your sacral area and help that energy to flow. So I mentioned a lot today about we have senses of smell with essential oils and plants. We have hand mudras that we can use to help move energy around. We have visualization of color, the mantra I feel. There's several different affirmations I will bring into the practice on Wednesday, but the main two words are I feel. What are you feeling? Now, the last sensation that I didn't talk about was sound. And I didn't talk about it much last week on our mantra, our Muladhara chakra, but I want to talk about it on the sacral chakra. There are two sounds that may resonate for you, and I'm going to give you both of them. The first one is the word VAM, VAM, and you would say it just like this, VAM. Now you can do it in any pitch you want, but you know how when you sat first on your Lifepro platform and you kind of jiggled and then you made, and maybe you had to speed up, it made your voice kind of quiver. So when you put your hands on your knees and you start going into that sacral chakra, the other sound is called O, like ooh. So you can use VAM or OO, O, as two sounds to just stand in your platform, sit with your feet on the platform, and use those vibrations of sound to help open or balance out this chakra. Okay, I'm going to go further now. We've talked a lot about, let me tell you about some poses. We sat here, we rocked our pelvis, that was one pose. We opened up wider into this goddess pose, and then opens up energy. Now, the last one seated I'm going to show you is the warrior two pose. On Wednesday, we will actually go through a practice, and I'll reintroduce, or I'll repeat a lot of these things. But I'm going to show you on one side what the warrior two pose looks like. Knee is over the ankle. My other leg is straight. Turn the thigh in, and I'm sitting, my butt cheek is just sitting on there. And we're going to open up from hip bone to knee, open up the pelvis. Shoulders are square, and you're going to reach your hands out. Finally, you'll gaze over your fingertips. This is the full expression of warrior two. From warrior two, we put our hand against our knee, bring the left hand, in this case, the other hand up, and go straight up. And now I'm opening up. I'm kind of going into one side of my chakra and open up the other side of it. And breathe into that. So I went from a warrior two to an side angle pose. Now, I'd like all of you who are able to come off of your seat. We're going to literally stand. We're going to stand here in our warrior two. Now, in this case, I'm going to bend my knee. And I'm at the very end of my platform, so a lot more vibration going on. I'm going to push my knee out with my hand. I'm making sure the pelvis is square, and then we're going to reach out into the pose. If it becomes too much, you can back off and then come back into it. And then from here, we can transition to the side angle pose. You can press in. You can rest your forearm down if that's too much for your back. And we're opening our one side of our abdominal area, navel area, and come back. Now this chakra goes from front to back. So when we're doing our poses, we're going to breathe into that energy. Now standing on the platform in goddess pose, and I did share this pose last week for the Muladhara, but Svasyasana has the same kind of postures. We're opening up the pelvic bowl, we're putting our hands together, and we're pressing our knees out. If this is too much, you can always bring your forearms on your thighs. Keep your chin pulled in and stare down to the ground. And you can feel how this vibration of the platform, again, I'm on about 5 here, more than I normally do, but it's really moving the pelvis. Taking big breaths in and out. And then let's come up slowly and walk the feet together. Now, the third option is actually seated on our platform. I'm going to grab a blanket real quick because I didn't have it ready. And I'm going to take this blanket, I'm going to place it right over my platform. If you have a yoga block handy, perfect. I'd like you to take it and put it between your knees. Now you can face me directly on, being centered on your platform, or you can have a little different sensation when you lay on the side of it and hug your knees, and we're gonna tuck the pelvis and arch it, just like we did when we first started. Keeping the tuck, bring one leg up, squeezing the block. We're preparing for what's called Navasana. Switch legs, keep squeezing that block. We're pulling in energy now. We're really compressing into that area. Those of you that care to can remove the block, put your hands on either side of the platform, bring one knee up and then the other. This is the full expression of Navasana, boat pose, pressing deep into the sacral area. And then if you'd like that little challenge, you can take your hands off. That's always a challenge to do that. I will mention that in an advanced pose like this, you need to smile. It makes it easier. And then bring one foot down, then the other. Now, because we compressed in here, we are going to go ahead and open up into that bound angle pose again. And I'm going to scoot back a little bit and move my camera down so you can see me, because I'm going to be on the ground for the rest of these poses. Bringing the feet together on the platform, holding on to the ankles. I'm giving you a lot of options for this particular chakra, and I will do it for each of the chakras because not every option will work for you. Remember the feeling. I feel this pose really opens things up. I feel too restricted. The language of this chakra is all about feeling fulfillment, feeling your sensations. If you find that you've lost passion maybe in your job or relationship, it doesn't even have to be with the opposite sex. It could be just with friends or family. Sometimes that chakra is really blocked, so we need to reignite the passion of relationships. So taking one or two of the poses that I'm suggesting, taking one of the essential oils or one of the gemstones, taking one of the mudras, and just sitting on your platform and opening up for the options of unblocking, removing those stuck areas of the chakra. We were meant to have a very full, blissful life and have our energy flow. And that's why I'm so happy to be on a Lifepro platform. And, at least 10 minutes a day, sometimes longer. Today I happen to be on it quite a long time because I'm sharing this information with you. But you can actually feel how things physically, there's a physical release of tension in areas that are stuck, but we're actually moving our prana, our life force through here. So I'm going to take my feet off and I'm going to go back into that garland goddess pose. Hands together at the heart space and pressing the knees, and I'm leaning forward. I'll show you from the side what this looks like. I'm literally pressing my pelvis forward. I'm tilting forward, pointing the navel down and the tailbone back and opening up the knees here. And just getting some really good energy into the pelvic bowl. How does our chakras go out of alignment? I mentioned COVID was a really good way to really mess up our chakra system. Trauma. You could have had a physical trauma. You could have had an emotional trauma that really shut things down for you. It's probably one of the easy, one of the chakras that gets out of alignment most out of all of them, from what I have read and researched on. But this really opens up. Now, if you have a lot of back issues, you don't feel like you're supported, could be that this chakra is really, really blocked as well. We're going to bring the knees in together. And we'll just take one final pose here. And it's going to be called our seated eagle wrap. One thigh bone over the other. Grab on to the knees and squeeze the knees together. You may even want to cross at the ankles if that doesn't bother your knees. And we've got a nice strong bind. So if we're now compressing and we're squeezing our physical bones together, our muscles together. And then when we open it up, we'll feel a rich blood flow through that area. Take a breath in here. Feel the physical sensations of the platform. If your eyes are closed, again, visualize that orb of energy, of light, of orange, whether it's a bright orange or a dark orange, a deep, rich color or a pale, soft peach color. And then we're going to make a change. We're going to cross the other leg over. I want a nice tight bind right in the groin area, squeezing things together. You can always rewrap the ankles to get that extra binding, so all the energy is kind of locked up into the belly. This is another good place to practice the sound bum or ooh. And it's so crazy how that when you start actually just bringing that sound out where it resonates. Once again, open up. Let's bring the feet together, soles of the feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Bringing the hands to your heart space. That's another place that we feel. We feel open to a healing energy. And just notice now how your belly feels, that we've compressed energy, we're opening it up. Know that, it's not a perfect world and there's not a perfect pose for all of us. You'll find the right pose, the right setting, the right level of vibration on your platform, the right color, the right sound, the right feeling that you want to feel. Just taking the time to be on your platform, to be in your body, to close your eyes, to allow things to glow, to let go, to get that ebb and flow of energy from top to bottom, from inside out. I want to thank you so much, Lifepro family, for spending a little bit of time with me today. And I look forward for you all to join me on Wednesday as we will go into an actual practice, interweaving all of the asanas, the physical poses that I shared with you today. Grab an essential oil, or if you don't have any, grab an orange and we'll just smell an orange, or a carrot, or a pumpkin, or something like that. And be sure to download the PDF file that talks about all the chakras. If you've got any questions or anything you're concerned about, we're just curious about, please email or place something in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking and feeling and how I can be of greater service to you. I hope that you have a beautiful, blessed, and very blissful day. Thanks again for joining.